What's up, you guys? It's your boy TheGoulGuy, back at you guys yet again with another video. Today we are doing a video for the Catch Cup. Yes, the Catch Cup for the battle week, and today's team is going to consist of Shadow Ninetails, freaking Guzzlord as the switch, and we got Skeledirge in the back. Yes, these are all Pokemon that I have acquired in the last couple months here, and have been working phenomenally for me going into the Catch Cup for this battle week. But before we get into it, of course, this is what we're going to do. We're going to show you the IVs and as well as all the moves that we have on each individual Pokemon here. So the Ninetails, I actually just acquired not too long ago. I was able to actually take frustration off, which is amazing. But the Ninetails has the powder snow. We have the weather ball, and as well we have dazzling gleam. The IVs here, amazing for the Great League. Amazing. I know I usually don't showcase a lot of good IVs for the Great League. This one is phenomenal for the Great League. And then next we have here is the Guzzlord. Guzzlord I luckily got from one of the researchers that happened just not too long ago, which is Dragon Tail. We got Dragon Tail as the quick move, Dragon Claw as the charge move, and as well as Crunch as the charge move as well. This thing is a freaking tank. IVs, of course, not good for the Great League, but this is the only Great League viable Guzzlord I have, so we gotta make it work. There it is. And then last but not least, our Skeledirge. The Skeledirge has been helping us throughout this season phenomenally. You've seen it on a couple of my teams here, but we got Incinerate, Shadow Ball, Disarming Voice, with some pretty decent PvP IVs as well. But that is the team. We are about to get into the battles. I didn't mean to put it, I'm too spunky with it. Alright, but anyway, we're about to get into the battles. Alright, first challenger here, Frigo, if I pronounced that right. Anyway, we got Poliwrath in the lead versus our Shadow Ninetails. We end up switching into the Skeledirge, knowing that counter is not going to be super effective here. We are going to be able to get to the Disarming Voice before it gets to any kind of Scald or anything like that, or even a Icy Wind, potentially. Disarming Voice is going to be countered with a Shield. They end up going for their charge move, which I'm thinking is going to be a Scald. We're just going to shield here just in case, and it is a Scald. We called that correctly. And then they end up switching into their Swampert. Luckily, I have enough energy here to get to our charge move, which I thought we were going to be able to get to our charge move beforehand, but unfortunately we cannot, so we're going to have to use a shield here, unfortunately, which is fine. We're going to be throwing a Shadow Ball back at the Swampert. Let's see if the Swampert ends up shielding the Shadow Ball. It sure does. There it is. We are both shieldless at this point. If my Skeledirge goes down, which looks like it will be going down with a ship. That is fine with me. We have a back line that might be able to finish the job. Let's see what we got here. We got the Guzzlord and we got the Ninetails. I'm thinking maybe Guzzlord. Yes, Guzzlord should be able to take the Hydro Cannon. Earthquake, of course, is going to do a lot of damage to me if it builds up to it, which it looks like he has built up to it. I probably should have just thrown Crunch right there a little faster, but unfortunately that didn't work out for me. He hits me with the Earthquake, unfortunately. We get to the Crunch though. Crunch is going to do a decent amount of damage to the Poliwrath. They end up switching into their Poliwrath there, which it's still not effective, but that's fine. We're going to be hitting it with a Weather Ball. Weather Ball is another non-effective move, unfortunately, but we're going to try to get it off. But let's see what it has here, and it's going to be another Scald. Scald does a whole bunch of damage to the Shadow Ninetails, which is very unfortunate. We're going to be hitting them with the Powder Snow. This is not going to do that much damage, no. And we're going to see if we can farm him down, but unfortunately it looks like he's going to be able to farm us down. And we get to our Guzzlord. Guzzlord's able to take the Poliwrath out, but is not going to be able to take out those last two Pokemon. And we lose that first game, which is very unfortunate. because obviously I hype up this team, all right? But believe me, the rest of these matches, you gonna see the power of this team, okay? But yes, the power of Poliwrath and a couple other Pokemon that they had there. I probably could have maneuvered a little better there in the first match, but it's a-okay. Learning lessons for me. All right, we are going into the next match. Another fighter in the front here. We got Annihilate in the front. We are going to instantly switch to our Skeledirge yet again. And then they end up switching into their Guzzlord. They have a Guzzlord themselves, which is going to be very unfortunate for them because we have Disarming Voice. Yes, that is the amazing part about having Skeledirge. He has the freaking Disarming Voice on him, which is very nice. We're going to be able to get another Disarming Voice off here, which is going to be very good. We're going to get possibly the last shield, or we can KO the Guzzlord. Unfortunately, well, not really too unfortunate. We do get both of the shields here. We're not going to shield the last one. We want to keep our shields. We want to keep our shields for our backline, our Ninetails, just in case anything happens. Ninetails is very fragile as a shadow. So we end up switching into our Ninetails here. And now they're going to be hitting us with either the Dragon Tail or the Crunch. Either one is going to be non-effective to our Galarian Ninetales because it is part Fairy. So we are fine there. We're going to farm up just a little bit here. Farm up just a little bit. Of course, we're just going to be taking the Crunch or the Dragon Tail, whichever one it wants to throw at me again. There's the Crunch. Crunch does a little bit more damage than I thought, but we... before it's able to get to another Crunch or maybe even another Dragon Tail, we're just going to use our charge move here. We have enough charge energy to take care of what we need to take care of here. We got our Dazzling Gleam going on. Let's see if the Dazzling Gleam hits the Annihilate here. And boom! Look at that. One hit KO with the Guzzlord, with the Ninetales. Very nice with the Dazzling Gleam. They switch into their Sand Slash. We're able to get to the Crunch. Sand Slash can easily take out the Guzzlord with a couple of Ice Punches, but I believe he's trying to get to 2 Ice Punches here to try to take me out here, which is very fair on his part. Alright, looks like he got to his charge moves, but we do still have 2 shields. So let's see if he's able to get those Ice Punches off. That's 1 Ice Punch there. We get to our Crunch before he gets to his second Ice Punch, and this should connect, which should be winning us the game. Let's go. But yes, as I said, this team, phenomenal. Obviously, you have some hiccups here and there. Especially with the fighters. It's very weak to fighting types, of course, with Ninetales being part Ice, and as well Guzzlord, of course, being Dark type. But that's why we have the Skeledirge. Skeledirge can resist the fighting types, you know what I'm saying? But there are certain times where, you know, you're up against Pokemon that are Water type, like Poliwrath, that can be very, very much a hassle. But anyway, we got Ninetales, Galarian Ninetales versus Gligar. Gligar is going to be getting destroyed by the ice moves that we have onto our Ninetales here. Powdered Snow is going to do a lot of damage, as well as this Weather Ball. Weather Ball taking it out there. They switch into the Lantern, which is fine. We're going to be using Weather Ball yet again, just to take a little bit of damage down onto the Lantern. There we go. And then we switch into the Guzzlord. Guzzlord is going to be walling this Lantern. That is the amazing part of Guzzlord. Guzzlord is part Dragon, so it's going to be able to resist the both the lightning and as well as the water moves. So the Thunderbolt and the Surf is going to be super resistant. They end up switching into a Ludicolo. Ludicolo, we're going to be resisting all the Razor Leafs, but Ludicolo does have a ice move. I believe it has Ice Beam, so we do have to look out for that. But other than that, the quick moves aren't really going to do too much damage. It is chipping away very slowly here. So let's see if we can get this Crunch off yet again. Alright, and let's see if we can take out this Ludicolo before it gets to his charge move, which we do. And looks like they're going to come back in with their last Pokemon, which is their Lantern, and we still have a crunch left. Man, Guzzlord is just super spammy. And literally, it just, yeah, between the resistances, how spammy it is, and how tanky Guzzlord is an amazing switch. An amazing switch. Love Guzzlord. It did wonders for me in the Catch Cup, and probably even in the Great League as well, the Open Great League. I did not use it for the Open Great League, but definitely really good for the Catch Cup for sure. Going into the next match here, another good lead. We have Galarian Ninetails versus the Flygon. I'm going to be doing tremendous damage with the Powdered Snow onto the Flygon here. I was thinking, do I just continue to try to take out the Flygon? But I believe it does have a charge move that can actually damage me here. But that is a-okay. We end up taking out the Flygon, and then Talonflame comes in. Now, I do want to get to this Weather Ball before I switch into my Guzzlord. I'm going to switch into my Guzzlord here right after I get a lot of damage. Look at that. That Weather Ball literally took half damage onto the freaking Talonflame. They end up switching into their Vigoroth. Vigoroth is going to do a good amount of damage to me with its counter moves. And also, I do have to be wary of the rock, the body slam, and as well as the rock throws. So I do have to be cautious of that as well. I'm not going to shield here because I do want to keep my shields, because Vigoroth can be very dangerous with the rock throw, and as well as I said, the body slam. So we're going to hold off from using our shields here. I'm switching to the Skeletors because we're resisting the counter moves. We're going to be using our shield for the rock slide there. Knew that was coming. We're going to keep going with the Incinerates. Hopefully we can get the Incinerate down before he gets to his charge move. Unfortunately, we only needed one more Incinerate. He does get to his charge move. But I do know we are going to be able to tank at least one rock slide. We are able to tank at least one rock slide here, which is fine with me. We're going to be able to use our Disarming Voice. I know it is resistant to Disarming Voice, but it is low enough to where it should KO. Now, it ends up obviously blocking it. That is his last shield, which is fine with me. We still have one more shield as well. I block the Brave Bird here, and then I get to my second Disarming Voice. This last Disarming Voice should be... Oh, actually, no. I use the Shadow Ball just to utterly destroy the Talonflame, and there we are. Hold on real quick. Alright, we are into the next match here. Going into the next match, let's see what we got here. Donovan, let's see what he comes up with. It's a Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff also is a very hard Pokemon to counter in this league for sure. That charm damage is freaking brutal, not gonna lie to you. Now, looking at this match prior, I probably should have just used Powdered Snow. Just Powder Snow it down. I did not think he was going to shield there because Wigglytuff is very, very sturdy of a Pokemon here. They end up switching into Azumarill after we switch into our Skeletors, because Skeletors is resistant to Wigglytuff's charm. So that is fine. That is fine because normally Azumarill has charge moves that are pretty resistant to Skeletors. Other than the bubble is going to hit us with a good amount of damage here, but it's going to whittle down very slowly. So another thing too, I probably shouldn't have shielded there, but I was pretty low on health, and I knew those bubbles were going to add up. So that's why I shielded there. We end up using our Disarming Voice yet again, taking out their last shield. Let's see if we can get one more Disarming Voice. They end up getting to their charge move before we can. We end up using our last shield here just to counter that play rough one more time. We just want to get the Azumarill out of there. Literally double fairies, which is insane. But we get the Disarming Voice, our last Disarming Voice there. Cool, sayonara, Azumarill. No shields, barely any health on these freaking Skeletors. They end up switching back into their Wigglytuff. Now, we have the Guzzlord still in the back. I already know Guzzlord is not the right Pokemon to be putting out for the Wigglytuff here. So basically, it's all up to the Ninetails knocking out the Wigglytuff here. Let's see if this Weather Ball is going to do enough damage. Hopefully it does, and it sure does, which is amazing. They end up switching into a Mandibuzz. They literally had a Mandibuzz in the back. Think about it. We had two dark types just hidden in the back just in case, because we had two Charmers in the front. That is insane. It's just so ironic that we had two dark types in the back. So I'm pretty much chipping away with my Dragon Tails, or not Dragon Tails, Dragon Claws and Dragon Tails. Anyway, whereas the Mandibuzz is not really doing that much damage to me, quick moves to me anyway, but it is building up to a charge move. Now, it could be a dark move. Well, it could. I was thinking it was going to be a, I forgot what, a Sky Attack. Forgot, it's a Wing Attack or Sky Attack that it usually has, but it actually had a Shadow Ball, which I'm very resistant to. Just insane. Oh, Aerial Ace. So it had Aerial Ace and Shadow Ball, which is insane. Took a good amount of damage, but I am still resistant to Shadow Ball, which is very nice for Guzzlord. So I'm able to use the last Dragon Claw, and we win by the smidgen of health on the Guzzlord, man. Guzzlord, man. Such an amazing Pokemon. But yes, it was tank versus tank. Just how bulky both of those Pokemon were. That was just insane. We get a Wingull at the end of this. But yeah, I believe that was the very end of our matches here. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe that is the very end of our matches here. But we won all 4 of our matches. We just didn't win the first one, of course. The first one threw me for the loop with the Poliwrath. Poliwrath is an amazing counter to this team. Essentially just because, you know, counter, of course, is going to do very good against the Ninetails, and as well is going to do very good against the Guzzlord as well. And with the Scald, Scald is going to do very good against the Skeledirge. So essentially, you just have to play around with the team, of course, get very much like get switch advantage, of course, to make sure that you come out on top with these battles. But anyway, love this team. Definitely highly recommend this team if the Catch Cup ever comes back around, because I believe this is going to be towards the end of the battle week. But because I doubt if I upload this about time, battle week is pretty much there. And this is prior to nerf, and I believe none of these Pokemon are being nerfed. Like, yeah, because Dragon Claw's not getting nerfed. I don't believe Crunch is getting nerfed. Yeah, a lot of the moves that a lot of these Pokemon I'm using here are not getting nerfed for next season. So we'll see if my bad, I just ate. But anyway. But yeah, we'll see if they actually still are pretty viable towards the next season, which I am very happy about. There's a lot of cool Pokemon that essentially I do want to try out for the next season. But yes, that is my Catch Cup team. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought of the team. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy the video, as the channel grows with your support. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.